we also have things like quality control AI systems, like that they can detect maybe how much moisture in the process, and they can autopilot themselves and give suggestion to the guy, like, okay, in this process I need to add more water, or I need to do something. And also energy savings AI packages, also we do have them in the builder. So depends on the customer targets. Yes, like this phase I want to do this, I want to fine tune my processes more like this. We have online particle size measuring systems, and integrated with other many sensing mechanisms. Like maybe if you need more information, you can just, yeah, it's a lot. Huh? Cool.
Wow, but it is interesting because AI is the future. It's here to stay. And so we had some QR codes circulating in the audience. If you have a question, you can send it there. But you can also raise your hand before we go to the final. Yes?
Myself, Ankit. I'm from India. So my question is to Mr. Paul. I want to know, India, right now in India market, there are a lot of feed raw materials which are at, available at, hello? Is it audible? Yeah. My question is to Mr. Paul, that myself, Ankit, I am from Rainbow Impacts India. We are an import-export firm from India. So, and we deal in animal feed raw materials. So I want to know, is there any import duty to various feed materials in Kenya? Like if we export it from India, is there any import duties?
Yeah, there's duty at, depending on the product, ranging between 10 and, actually the maximum is 10, depending on the product. So the soy, the premixes, they'll come at 10% duty. Yeah.
So if we talk about the feed raw materials like soybean meal, or there is a groundnut meal, so nowadays, like in Indian market, it is available at good price. So do you see that an export can happen from India to Kenya?
Actually for soy, that is our only hope currently. Zambia is closed, Malawi is closed. Uganda is not good, they are not very safe. So our only hope is India now. So there's a lot of opportunity for trading with us on soya. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Do we have another question? Wow. Sawa.
So I'd like to ask, how do you mitigate the risk associated with laser technology, especially now that most processes I'm aware of with milling do sortex or sorting using the laser technology, and there are risks that you're aware of that come with this. Do you provide controls to this, and how?
Laser technology? You mean sorting for, okay, actually our sorting is not using laser technology. It's kind of optical, and we use some lights to identify products which are defects with our optical sorters. It's like the product is running in, and we have series of cameras, and with some kind of light, different kind of light. One for watching, and one is just to give the backgrounds when the product is running. And in this optical sorter, we do have the intelligent program that knows these levels of background color which is coming out. I should kick this grain out of this product which is running. So it injects the pin to kick it out. So we're not using those dangerous laser technology, as you're saying. Just a typical sorting light.
The other question was coming from... Who has another question? Okay.
Hi, I'm Raydon from InsectiPro. We deal with insects for food and feed. And I have a question for the CEO of Akefema. The first question, with the current trends in animal feed industry, how is Akefema positioning itself to capitalize on these trends? That is to use alternative protein sources. 2 is about capacity building. Do you do specific trainings to integrate insect protein into the feed manufacturing process? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yeah, as I said, we are the biggest challenge. One of the the triple challenges we have as an industry is access to raw materials, and we are looking in every direction to get alternative, and we also favor alternatives that are homegrown because it saves money. I remember a discussion we had with the association of BSF leadership, and we told them we are ready for BSF as an alternative protein. The problem is that the market, the demand is so high. The production of BSF in the country is still at infancy. So we can absorb any amount of, especially alternative protein. Any amount you can produce, we can absorb. We have feed millers, we know, like in Thika, where we have the nerve center of feed milling, who are already using BSF. But BSF the production is very low. I know ISIPE is trying to scale it up, and we are getting development partners who are trying to use it as a source of income for some of the young people, but they're not doing it large scale. Because when we talk about soya not being available, BSF will be a perfect replacement for soya. But it's not enough. I think I only know 2 feed millers and some people who are doing milling for their own animals who use BSF. So to quote the words of our chairman, he said, where is it? If you provide, you are ready to absorb it. All quantities you can provide, it will be good saving even for the government so that we don't import, and it will be a good way of engaging young people. But most of them are doing it as a social activities. They are not seeing the opportunity of doing it in huge quantities to provide employment for them, or actually a way of doing income. They're just doing it as a social activities in group, and that does not produce meaningful volumes for an industry to absorb. So yes, we are doing that. We are working with association. I think we've engaged around 3 associations, but our question is always volumes. You cannot satisfy the market, so the market is there. And yeah, we engage with them most of the time. They're always knocking at my offices, and we had an engagement recently with a promoter from Netherlands who want to do it in large scale, and we are open as an industry to absorb that. There was also one innovative ideas using all the pineapples peels from Dalamere to generate proteins, but the issue is, can you meet the demand? The volumes that we need is high, and nobody has come up with big volumes for BSF or any other innovative way to provide alternative proteins. As I said, 80% import is not easy, and that's why feed is expensive in Kenya. And we welcome any innovative way of addressing that demand. The lesser import, the cheaper the feed.
So I can also add addition on the BSF. I think the insect protein. Bilawi do have the solution for industrial large-scale insect processing technology. I think the leading insect producer BSF, the name is Protix, is in Netherlands. They're using our technology. From rearing the parent stock, then you get the small larvae, then you plant them with all this handling of the substrate, and now getting into the culture, all this environment controlled and all fully automated, getting out the BSF, getting out of the culture, then you get the insect larvae, then you proceed. Maybe you need to use them fresh, or maybe you need to dry them or get the oil out of them. So we do have the industrial innovations product for the insect technology.
So what you're saying, the industry is ready for the alternative protein, but the alternative protein is not available.
Yes.
These are areas that you can tap into if you want to invest in that.
Okay, thank you very much. My name is Olo Nicodemus. I have one question. How do you ensure the safety along your processes, along the process of manufacturing of these animal feeds? How do you ensure that the products are safe and the nutrition values as per the standards?
Okay, so I think throughout the feed production process, we have various specifications of quality. For instance, when it comes to the raw materials like maize, it must be of certain moisture content, and we check for whether it has aflatoxin or whatever it could have. So we check from the onset of the process to the end, and all our feed millers either have a built-in lab in their mills, or also they consult. So at every stage, and I think Bula, when they're doing the training, they give you, they ensure that you test at every stage, because this being a factory process, there are specifications at every stage, even the sizes of the you call them what, the dices. Yeah, they are all defined. So the industry is well regulated. Even when you get to the next phase that we don't want to talk about, maybe GMO, we have all the regulation in place to ensure that we have quality. I'll say this, which is off the line. One of the biggest challenge we have, because most of us are parents, is that most of the maize our feed millers reject because they have high aflatoxin. We have never witnessed them being banned, and they are not fit for human consumption, isn't it? We've never seen a place where the maize we reject from our feed mill and the maize the human feed millers reject, we've never seen them being destroyed. One of our biggest guests, where those maize land, who can guess? I'm just trying to incite you a bit. They're going to a secondary school, boarding school. This is a crisis in the making, and we have talked with the Association of Cereal Millers and ourselves. We may need to engage Head Teachers Association to ensure that they test the maize coming to their schools. Thank you.
My name is Joseph, and my question goes to Mr. Kamau. Now you have informed us that the association have 104 members. I understand there, apart from those members association, there are so many small-scale producers that are producing feeds in small-scale category or in home, and they experience challenges such as quality assurance, testing. I just wanted to know if your association maybe have a way forward for them, maybe as an assistance, form of assistance, to make sure that all they produce and go to the market to meet the quality specification that is required by the market. Thank you.
If I get you right, you want to know the other feed millers who are not in our bracket, whether we have plans for them. Yeah. What we are doing, we are working with 2 partners. We've made a proposal to do mapping for feed millers. It is in advanced stages, because one of the first point is that we don't even understand the size of our industry. If I'll talk to somebody from India or in a government officer from India, come and ask me, how much soya do you want us to provide to you? I'll only talk about the 81 feed millers I have, while we know that there are so many other feed millers who are operating under the radar. So what we decided this year is that I'll look for grants to do mapping for feed millers, which is not a very difficult thing to do. Our association is voluntary membership, but it is very important that we know the size of our industry, we know who is in it, whether they want to join AKFEMA or not, and what they are doing, what they are milling, and probably even the equipment they are using for milling, for testing, for mixing, so that we know whether they are producing quality. So, having said that, we got a grant and we are working with the Council of Governors, because you know in Kenya, every business in this country has a connection. They must pay some levy. So the Council of Governors and some counties has accepted to work with us to give us list of all the businesses that are in feed milling, so that we can start with a desk research of mapping, and then later we can snowball to find who else may be not being registered by local government who is also doing milling, so that it can first help us know the size of our industry and also help us and inform government when it comes to planning for and partnership with other countries on support for feed milling and the stuff. So before we even start knowing what we need to do with them, we are doing a baseline of mapping all the feed millers, their capacity, what they are doing, what they are producing, which feeds they are producing, where is their market, so that we understand the industry. This we decided this year, and I'm sure next year we are starting that. And I'm sure it will be good information to the industry and to the country, and even to the suppliers of the feed millers, guys who provide soya, guys who provide corn. They can even plan with that information to know the size of business. We have a lot of people coming, developing interest in entering the Kenyan market and the East Africa community market, but nobody have accurate data. We have taken it up among ourselves as AKFEMA to ensure that first we start with Kenya and map everybody. If we achieve a 90% success, it will be good, but it can help inform business and government planning.
Thank you very much for engaging us. And so, I am going to give you a tiny minute to give your closing remarks. And then, Mr. Kamau, in your closing, you can mention the conference you talked about. A quick minute to tell us where it's going to be, when it's going to be.
Thank you very much. It was very engaging, and we invite everybody who is involved in feed milling, if you are a supplier, to join AKFEMA so that we can have an organized industry. AKFEMA is the only organized feed millers association in the East Africa community, and we really want to capitalize on that because the country is strategically placed. It's the only country surrounded by East Africa community members among the East Africa with it, in the region. With Somalia and Ethiopia joining the community, we are the nerve center. We are better placed economically, infrastructure, and even the human capacity. We have very good university who are producing high quality animal nutritionists who can be a good resource for this country. So the strength is number. The East Africa community listens, the East Africa community talks with us, so we want to take that advantage. We want to fill the vacuum that is there, and that can be built by building, can be taken by building a strong AKFEMA. And as I said, we want to map ourselves, we want to get organized, we want to attract, not to beg for investors to come to Kenya, but to attract them by being even more organized. And that's why we are starting things like mapping and knowing the needs of our feed miller, the need of the industry. So we want to take up that and ensure that Kenya is the nerve center, is the nucleus for feed milling business in the region. And AKFEMA is equal to the task, and we invite all of you to join us. For the students and the young people, we are working on a scholarship program. The first we are starting at the conference, which I'll talk about later. We have offered scholarship to the 4 leading universities with animal nutrition. Nairobi University, Kenyatta University, JKUAT, and Egerton. we have invited them to come and meet the industry. It's a good opportunity to come and interact with future employers, guys who have come from the whole region, and even in Europe and Asia, and I think we have Brazil and America coming because they are looking for a market for their product. And for a very long time, we didn't have an organized feed miller body in the region. So we are at a very, we are starting at a very good position to ensure that the feed milling industry grows in Kenya. Of course, our biggest challenge is the amount of import. At 80%, you don't become very attractive, but you can, you provide an opportunity for international market to come also. It has its own advantage also. We may not be providing a lot of opportunity for our farmers to supply to the industry, but we are attracting foreign investors to come and set foot in this country. So it's a good opportunity also. So we invite you to join AKFEMA and be part of this. We, of course, we have not, it's an industry-specific association. We've not opened up to everyone, but we invite interaction continuously that. We are working towards having an exchange program with the university. Before the end of the year, I'll be moving out for universities that have expressed interest to have a partnership with us. And we are hoping slowly we can build, maybe together with institutions like Beulah, we can equip some of our university with a milling plan so that our students are not doing theory in the university. And they don't have to spend more money again going to a milling school, but it can be achieved at the university. So that is the next step we are doing. And I'm sure we are in for a bright future in the milling industry. Job opportunities, we are a big industry, and we will be a big industry if we can bring even 10% of the animals in the ASAR to feed on our feed. Maybe one point is good, I remember that in 2019, I've told you this, Wangari, before. In 2019, we counted all the human beings in Kenya, and again, we counted all the animals in Kenya. So we realize when you calculate the amount of feed for instance, we make for poultry, and compared to all the animals we feed, all the animals that were counted in 2019, we are only feeding 13% of poultry. Dairy cattle, we are feeding even less because, of course, there is an option for fodder for dairy cattle. So that is an opportunity for growth of the industry. It's one of the industry that in Kenya is at infant. There is a lot of opportunity, and we welcome investment in any area that can build this industry. The latest information, you go to the website of the Ministry of Agriculture, the State Department for Livestock Development, they are saying the country is at 60% deficit of animal feed, 60%. All those are opportunities for investment and opportunity for growing up on settings, a business that can sustain you, because we are yet to meet the demand. So think outside the box. You guys in school, think outside the box, and there's still space for more and more in the feed industry. Thank you. Oh, about the conference, we are having a conference which is industry specific for feed millers, and we have organized it at Safari Park. It will be from the 16th, 17th, and 18th of July. We are inviting experts from around the world, expert companies with their expert in equipment making, formulation, providers of raw materials, to train our feed millers and farmers on how to do effective feed production and effective farming. So it is a closed and expert-only conference. But you are welcomed to participate even if you have an interest in the industry. It won't be free, it won't be a walk-in. We've gotten a good donor who have subsidized the cost at Safari Park as a 5-star, and all the equipment, all the facilities that we provide. The cost for one delegate is 15,000 for the 2 days, but it's a bit subsidized to 5,000 for the 2 days. You'll get all the meals, 5-star meal, and you'll get training, You'll get all the giveaways that goes with the training, with the booths, and also you'll get materials that you'll get there. So 5,000 for meals at the 5-star hotel, and accommodation is not given, but you pay 5,000 to come. If you're not a member of AKFEMA, you pay 7,000. So we all invite you. There's a lot of learning. As the first question of how we are ensuring that we have efficiency this is one of it. It is the first in the region, and we have seen a lot of interest from companies from outside, which was we were not expecting that, but we welcome them. They are contributing to our growth. So if you have an interest in this, please, you can talk to me, or you can visit our website for the conference. We are calling it AKFEMA Feed Exhibition and Conference Nairobi 2024, or AFEC Nairobi 2024. Our website is www.afec.co.ke.
Okay.
www.afec.co.ke. You get information there, but you can talk to me after this. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much. I hope you have enjoyed this session as much as I have, and you have been half as nervous. Yes, so we have come to the end of this session, and this is the point where you clap for us. Yes, so thank you so much.